right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, wireweaveduniques. So I have a custom request, and I thought it would be cool to do like a semi-tutorial video and also a free flow. This is something I basically am doing a design I've never done before, but the design is inspired by another one, yet I have full free range to do my own thing. I have this amethyst stone and this citrine and some pyrite gemstone beads. So this is going to be an oxidized copper piece. So I'm going to use 18 gauge copper and 26 gauge copper. If you're new to me, my name is Bailey. Thank you so much for coming across this video. So like I said, this is more of a free flow semi-tutorial. I mean, obviously, I hope you guys enjoy watching this either way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut, let's see, I'm going to cut 4 base wires. So we're going to start there. And these pieces are about 16 inches long. So the 18 gauge wire is my base wire. And I'm going to cut 4 16-inch pieces. I know I just said that, but I just wanted to be clear. So there's 2. I am very much looking forward to how this piece turns out. I have been looking forward to doing this. I've been busy the last couple weeks with other things, but I love this channel so much, you guys. I love doing these things for you. I'm really trying to come up with more ideas on what you guys would like to see, and the way that you can support my channel and help me out with that is by commenting what wire wrapping things you would like to see in the future. Okay, so we have our 4 base wires, and they're pretty straight, so I'm not going to worry too much about straightening them. And then I have my 26 gauge wire, and I prefer to just work off of the spool. So I'm going to drop it to the floor so it's not in my way. And I have all my favorite tools. So I have my 6-step pliers, some tweezer nose pliers, nylon tip pliers. I have my round nose, which are currently holding this wire right now, and my flush cutters. I do have some tools available on my website. I have a basic tool set that you can get. You can subscribe to my email list and get 15% off on anything in my Shopify website. The website is wireweaveduniques.com. Okay, so for this piece, I am actually going to start with the bail. And I don't typically start with the bail, but for this piece, that's what we're going to do. So like I said, I'm using 18 gauge base wires. They're about 16 inches long. And I'm going to start at the center, but a little off to the side. So I'm going to start by doing the ladder weave. So I'm going to separate these out a little bit. And I'm going to move this light in a little more because I want you guys to see. So the 26 gauge is going up in between the two base wires. And I'm going to start with the two wires against each other and then spread them out as I work my way down. So, like I said, this is more of a free flow type of video. I do have I have a whole wire wrapping playlist that you guys can refer to. I will link that playlist down in the description, and I will link relevant videos to certain weaving techniques in the description as well, so that you guys have easy access to that. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit because I notice I keep going off camera. So when it comes to a nice weave, you really want to be mindful of your coils. So I started with a couple of anchoring coils, and then I'm doing 2 on the top wire, 2 on bottom, 2 on top. That is what creates a nice ladder weave. And now what I'm going to do is separate these 2 at an arch so I can start forming the shape of this veil. So I'm just doing 2 on the top wire and 2 around the bottom wire. I am so excited to see how this piece turns out. Okay, so basically I'm just going to keep repeating this pattern. I don't even know if that's a word, but okay. So I'll show you guys here in a second why I spread the wires for this veil. So you can really start to see the weave coming out, and it just looks really good. So I'm going to spread it just a little more for this piece because in between there's going to be another little accent weave sitting on top of this weave. Okay, so I think right about here, I'm going to start to bring these 2 base wires back together just by gently, making some curves here. And kind of even this one out. There we go. That looks really good. So that's going to help me guide this weave into the shape that I want it to be. So I'm following the coils and keeping a good tension to where I don't distort the bail. I'm just following the curvatures and the shape of this so that all this weaving stays nice and neat. And if you notice, I'm holding the weave in place with my thumb to kind of help me with it. Because if you don't, it'll start spacing out if you don't hold it. You want to hold it in place. Getting everything squished down. Okay. This is a little challenging at the moment because, oh, I'm on the wrong wire. Because these wires are so long. And you want to really make sure if you're doing this with me, that you pay attention to your weave pattern count, because you will be able to notice if you do 3 on one wire instead of 2. It's not like hugely noticeable, but you'll definitely notice. I'm going to pull these out a little bit so it's a little less awkward getting in between the two. And because we pre-made this shape, these two base wires are naturally coming in closer together, which is great. Yep, I'm loving this. It's very, very rare that I start a pendant from the bail. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys. This is our bail right now. Hopefully you can see that. Looks pretty good. So now I'm going to grab these two. We have our other two base wires. Oh, I'm going to cut this little tail off before I move forward. we're going to move that. So these are going to go up here, basically, and everything's even with each other, which is great. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start another weave. So I'm going to do some anchoring coils at the end of this. And then we're going to cut this wire off and start a fresh weave. Okay, so I have my other two base wires. This weave is a little bit different. So I have my 26 gauge. It's going up in between the two, and I'm a little bit off from the center. I'm going to do some anchoring coils on the bottom wire. And now this pattern, I'm going around both. And we'll go around one. And I'm going around the top wire, and then I'm going around both. Now, I kind of want to make this a little bit easier to navigate. So I went around the top, going around the bottom, going around both. Okay, that's better. Coming around the top, going around the bottom, going around both. Once you figure out a weaving pattern and really get the hang of it, it's so much fun. So this is what this is looking like right now. I'm going to zoom in for you guys. So that's looking pretty awesome. Going around both. Okay, so now I'm going to zoom out. I'm doing my best to stay on camera for you guys. I apologize if I keep veering out. It is on my list to get a really nice camera. I told myself I'm not allowed to do that yet until I have accomplished something on my to-do list, basically, is how I'm going to put it. That'll be a couple months. But I have been wanting a really good camera for a couple years now, and I think I just need to make it happen. But we all do the best with what we all got, right? And I'm grateful for that. All right, we're going to squish down. We don't have too much more of this weaving to do. We're getting there. I'm just gonna keep going. Coming along very nicely. Okay, so now I have this weave, and I'm going to go ahead and trim this tail. And now we got to combine these pieces. So I'm making sure each end of each weave is lined up with one another. My wire's hitting things. It would be really nice when these wires are just a little bit shorter. So I'm getting the wires just nice and even. The weave I just did, those two wires are in the middle here. So what's going to happen is basically all of these are going to get woven together for a little bit. So I'm going to come around the back and come around the back, and I'm going to start weaving on this outer wire. Oh, sorry guys. And then I'm going to come around to go over both of these wires. I want to make sure the weave is in there really good. I'm going to go around 2 times, and then I'm going to go around once on this outer wire on the other side, and then come around both. Basically, I'm binding these two weaves together. Using the ladder weave. Oop. All right, that looks really good. Trying to get the camera to focus. I really like how that looks. Okay, so now what's going to happen is I'm basically going to focus on one side. So I'm going to focus on these two wires here. And do 1, 2, 3. we're gonna go 1, 2. Yeah, I like that. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 1, oops, 2. So that's what I'm going to do down this side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back with you guys. Okay guys, so I went ahead and did both sides. So now it's just figuring out, I'm going to zoom, figuring out where to go from here. So the goal is to, these stones need to stay in place, but first I want to get these pieces bound together. So I'm going to bend these two kind of upward. And this one I'm going to do, let's see. I also have these pyrite beads. I gotta add. They're not gonna fit on this 18 gauge. Okay, that's okay. We'll just have to improvise. There's always room to improvise when it comes to wire wrapping. So I'm gonna bend these two up. And I'm gonna try to flip this over. Okay. Bend those two up. All right, so now it's just figuring out where to go from here. Because essentially the amethyst is going to go here. The citrine is going to go here. So I think what I'm going to do next, because my weaving wires is still attached, which is awesome. Let me flip this around to the back. So I wonder, amethyst or the citrine is going to sit right about here. I kind of want to make these two just a little more snug. That's better. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to weave. I'm going to start weaving these two wires. So I'm going to do the ladder weave. Basically what I'm working on is making a front kind of holder for the citrine. And I'm going to try to keep this piece as symmetrical as I can. So I'm going to show you guys where we're at so far. So I'm going to weave this by doing the ladder weave. I'm going to lift this up a little bit so it's a little less challenging. I think what makes this most challenging is that the base wires are like hitting everything. It's okay. Trying to do this without cutting too much out for you guys. So if I veer, this needs to stay open. These two need to veer over. Whoop. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do the ladder weave on this side and this side, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I got those two sides woven. So now we've got the citrine. I'm going to straighten this out because those wires are driving me a little nuts. Okay, so the citrine is going to hang out right there. And what I want is I'm going to hold here so I can curve that over. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Just really try to curve this over. Okay, so now, yes. Well, I wonder if the citrine, now I don't know, let me zoom for you guys. I don't know if the citrine should be up and down. It might have to be up and down. It might, I don't know, it just might work out better. Let's test this out and see. Slide all this wire back down. I think I really like that better, to be honest. Okay, so now it's getting it to stay. Okay, so if what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these forward so that I can bend this to the back, but I want these, this is going to be very awkward. I want these to be in the frame. There we go. I'm sorry about the camera focus, guys. Eventually I'm gonna get a new camera. I'm getting there. Okay, and then this. Oh gosh, just throwing my pliers. I want those to be snug. So if these are going down here, I want these two to go back here as well. Gosh, that was a little challenging, but I did it. So now just want to snug it all together. Now this citrine has to stay in place. So we're going to flip this to the back. And I'm going to move these down a little bit because I'm going to create like a little bit of a setting. Oh, I apologize for going off camera. Trying to move this side in more and kind of flip it outward. There we go. So that I'm able to get it on top of the citrine a little more. That helped a little bit. Okay, so now it's just securing this because the amethyst is going to go here. Oop. I'm going to zoom out so I can stay on camera for you guys. Those are going to go like that. The citrine is staying in pretty dang good. Just trying not to cover it up too much. I like that. Okay, so the citrine is in there. Which is great. It's not even loose. So, I'm thinking we're going to stop here for a minute and I'm going to grab my bail making pliers. I'm going to move this forward so that I have a centered bail. I can't wait till I have shorter wires. Oh my gosh. The fact that the citrine did not fall out through that is fantastic. I'm going to try to bring this back a little more. Okay. Sorry for the camera bump. Okay, so this is what the bail was intended to turn out to be. So now I'm going to pull out these. Oh yeah, I need to pull out this wire. And basically got to figure out getting the amethyst in here and making sure it stays in there. So these two wires are definitely going to be a catalyst for that. Okay, so I went ahead and just tied in all those wires. They were truly driving me bonkers and it was getting a little hard to record. So I just took them and tied them in and cut them, did a little crossover design up here, So I'm sorry you guys missed that. It was just really hard to record with all of that wire flopping all over the place. So now we're going to add the pyrite beads. I am cutting a piece of 20 gauge half hard wire. And actually, I should probably attach this first. So I have the amethyst. The amethyst has a setting, which is great. So I'm going to actually go ahead and get this in half. I'm going to fold this completely in half. And then open it. Well, actually, take that back. I'm not going to open it yet. Remember, guys, this is a free flow type of video. If you are experienced with wire wrapping, I'm sure you can totally figure out everything I did. No problem. Once you know how to do certain weaves and things, you can easily figure out how to do other wire wraps. So I've got this point up here. So now I'm just trying to open it up a bit. I kind of bend it over and down. Okay, we're gonna be a little smarter here. So let's tidy this up. And I'm gonna bend here. And then we're gonna put these wires in. And then we're gonna come on the back side like this. I actually want to, I feel like that point there is just a little long. I feel better about this point right here. And I want to open it like that. And we're going to come in from the back side and get it mounted. This is just going to add that little bit of character on this piece. Of course, it's taking quite a bit of finagling. I think I got it though. Yep, I got it. Okay. I'm going to bend this up we're going to just start adding some pyrite beads. I'm going to secure this around like that. I want to bring this down. We're going to see what this looks like. Come on, little bead. I'm going to pick a different one. There we go. Bring these down a little more. Again, if you guys have watched this far into this video, I really appreciate it. It helps my channel so much. If you could like this video, that would be amazing. Again, you can subscribe to my email list and get a 15% off code, and you will get news and updates. No, we're going to use a different one. I really like that. Okay, so we are outside now. This is hot water, cold water, and then we have the pendant. And this is raw liver of sulfur. So you guys get to see how this process works. And I'm holding my phone, so this is a little challenging. I do recommend wearing gloves and a mask if you do this. I only need a little drop. And we're gonna put the pendant in here. And it's gonna oxidize the copper. You can see it's darkening the copper. I'm gonna let it hang out a little longer. It's amazing how fast this happens. And it's a really smelly situation. Okay, now we're gonna put it in the cold water. Okay, and now we're gonna put some Dawn dish soap. This is very tricky because I'm doing this one-handed, but I am taking this soap and just polishing this copper, using my fingers to kind of rub it. And then once this is done, basically what I'll do is take a polishing cloth to it. Wash it really good. All the soap out of there. Looking so nice. Okay, so it's still a little wet from washing it, but I'm going to take this polishing cloth and just polish up the copper a little bit more, and it's going to bring out all of the details. This pendant looks amazing. Oh yeah. Trying to get in the crevices. I love this polishing cloth. I'm actually going to take my wires here and flip this weave upward. That's better. You can use steel wool to do this. I prefer to do it the way I do it because steel wool has a tendency to catch on all the little details, and then you have to sit there and pick out all of the pieces of wool. Okay, I love it. Love this. This turned out so good. Get the amethyst wiped up a little bit. I'm sorry if that was loud, guys. Okay, and she's done. Hey guys, so that video took a lot to record. It was fun. I had lots of fun. I did have to stop a couple of times to revisit my thoughts and ideas on this piece, and I had to make sure with the client that they liked the direction that this piece was going into. I just let me know what you guys think. I had so much fun putting this together for you. You can use it as a tutorial, use it for your own learning purposes, however you want to use this video. I hope you did learn some things. It was all free flow, like I said, inspired from a different design, but of course, you know, we all do different things. It's impossible to perfectly duplicate anything, especially when it comes to wire wrapping. So feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you very much enjoyed this. I appreciate you guys so much. Be sure to check out my website, wireweaveduniques.com and subscribe to my email list if you love. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you thought.